time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in here to the Neon Lights action. It is late night action yet again. Neon Lights taking on Outreach Tech. As King had mentioned earlier, both of these teams are 5-1 on the season, looking to go to 6-1. And ironically enough, last season in Maine, both of these teams went 8-6, where they both ended up in 56th place. Right now, Neon Lights 5-1, currently sitting in 10th place. Outreach Tech 5-1, but sitting in 22nd place. And I do believe it's because their schedule hasn't been as tough as the Neon Lights ones, at least early on. We talked about it. Neon Lights, the only game they've lost is to a team that shouldn't even be in Maine. We talked about these stars that have played in advanced, played in ECL, played on the Olympic trial team, and we saw Neon Lights put up a great fight. So I'm excited to see what they can do here tonight. Looking to put another loss in the notch column for Outreach Tech, but it is going to be a tough one. The servers are Chicago, and the map is Overpass, where we saw the boys playing very well together. A couple hiccups here and there, but overall, some really great, phenomenal performances from Neon Lights lately. So a good opportunity for them to bounce back. You know, we saw them, again, play some Overpass, but it was against a very tough team. So I think this will give us a little bit better a feel of how well the boys are on Overpass. But I saw we got King Plaza in chat. I know Steven was up there earlier. I'm sure Moxie and the rest of the crew at some point will stop by. But as always, we appreciate everybody kicking it with us here today. Just a few more players to get loaded into the lobby before we get that knife round underway. And honestly, I'm really excited for this. When we talked about it last time, the boys, the roster, looking to hold it down. On the side of Outreach Tech, we're going to be looking at a starting lineup of Cubed, Punisher, Desolation, Diabetic, and Hyena. So that is some of the players we'll be keeping our eye out on that side of things. Everybody, of course, level 10 facets, you know, fairly evenly skilled. I know J-Trops is ranked higher than the majority of a lot of these players. So we'll keep an eye out on him or for him on that op here tonight. This is a map where the op can reign supreme on both sites, really. You've got Long A. You've got the Heavens there looking over B as well. And so this should be a really good one here tonight. Of course, the starting lineup that we really are here to see, we know and love: Dax, Bands, J-Trops, Michu, and the Lone Star himself are ready to get it done here tonight on Overpass. We are moments away from the knife round. Heck yeah, I love to hear it. We got Crossfire in the building as well. Looking forward to the Crossfire tournament coming up here soon as well. I believe Redacted is in that too, so another team that I often cast for. My EU team is also 6-0 right now. You guys 5-1. It's been a lot of fun getting to cast these teams dominate. And the Neon Lights, they have been the up-and-coming shining stars. We saw them, I believe it was in the off-season shenanigans. I can't remember if it was, I think it was off-season shenanigans or Crossfire, one of the two. But we saw them beat Redacted Society in one of those maps. So this main team has been able to beat some advanced teams before. Yo, Connor, the legendary Connor from across the pond stopping in. Sheesh. In King Connor we trust. He's the only 10 I see. Appreciate you stopping in, Connor. I know it is very early in the morning for you, but love to see the hotties stop in here. So much love, much appreciated. It does appear we've got all 10 players loaded into the map here, so won't be too much longer before we get that knife round underway to get to see where these teams want to start out. Of course, the winner of that knife round will get to opt to decide whether they want to start out on that CT side or that T side. Now, on a map like Overpass, it is typically favored to start out on that CT side. So that's what I would kind of expect to see here for the winner of that knife round. But we do have everybody loaded in. And again, I think maybe Dax has to reconnect here. It looks like maybe some connection issues with him. But I'm looking forward to seeing J-Trops on the op here. Some crazy sniping tonight. I've got a feeling we've seen Lone Star often kind of being that solo player, whether it's on the long lurking flank or anchoring a site. But we know he's got the, you know, everything's bigger in Texas. Lone Star's got the big kahunas to get it done by himself. Michu, Z-Bands, Dax, everybody has been popping off. They got a Seattle LAN coming soon. That is awesome. I'll be making my way out to Seattle at the end of the month for PAX West. I want to go check it out for the first time. See what they got to offer out there. So that's going to be a fun time as well. I didn't realize you guys were in Seattle, King. Few lands coming up in the next 1 to 3 weeks. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Lands are the best, dude. I've done 4 or 5 lands this year. I think I got at least 3 or 4 more on the cards, but just heading out to PAX West to have some fun. So gonna have a lot of free time out there just to do what I want. It's gonna be a great time. So maybe a few of the boys aren't too far. That's in Seattle, Washington as well. Maybe we'll see you there. But it does look like they are ready to get the action underway. Everybody has loaded into the game. We're going to head right on down into it ourselves. The ninth round, Neon Lights taking on Outreach Tech here on Overpass. Both of these teams are 5-1. Only one will be 6-1 after today. And as we mentioned, both teams 8-6, tied last year as well, or last season. J-Trop's able to find the first Diabetic, Desolation, and Cube. It is all orange in the kill feed as Outreach Tech will take the ninth round. We'll see where they opt to go. Neon Lights, unfortunately, had to play that ninth round without Dax in here. So Dax still working on those connectivity issues. We might see a pause come out from Neon Lights off rip. Nice. Yeah, I'll be out there about 10 days after. So just going to miss each other. But wish them all the best of luck. Certainly very deserving. They have been on the up and up. And just really have been a ton of fun to watch. Honored to get the chance to cast the boys. And we're going to do it one more time here tonight. Outreach Tech will opt to start out on the CT side here on Overpass. We are ready for this pistol round. Glocks in hand for Neon Lights. For Outreach Tech. 3 will opt to go with armor. The defusal kit in the hands of Cubed, and Diabetic will look to be the bully with the dualies. 2-3 spit. Momentarily coming out from Outreach Tech. All 5, though. Sticking together momentarily here. Lone Star up close and personal. Shots continue to ring out. Hyena finds the first, but Lone Star, a nasty 2K before Diabetic is able to answer back now towards Sandbag. Shots ring out. J-Trops takes a bit of damage, as does Diabetic. They're going to look to find the plant here, but they got to be careful. The rotation coming in toward Heaven. Now on a 3v3, the swing towards Sandbags. Above is Desolation. And he will find some decimation. J-Trops. The headshot back toward Heaven's Cubed on a quick peek will find Bands. The dualies of Diabetic will find J-Trops. And Outreach Tech will take round number 1. But Neon Lights, they find that plant at a bare minimum. They should have the funds to invest in here should they choose to do so. We will see a couple AKs coming out. A few Tech 9s here as well, but 3 rifles in the hands of Outreach Tech, followed up by 2 MP9s. If Neon Lights can find a way to scrap up this round, it would put Outreach Tech in a bit of an economic disadvantage here. Early utility. Slowing down short tons and Monster here, but they will continue to press through. One tucked in toward barrels. Cubed up top of Heaven. Shots ring out. It is Michu to find the first. Cubed will gather one of his own. And eventually pick up Lone Star here as well. Now Michu is in great positioning here. He caught one on the run out. Diabetic does go down. He'll shift to an opposite spot. Now peeking the door. As Michu finds Desolation. Trying to duck under that. Cubed raining death and destruction from heavens above as Bands goes down. Michu on a 3K and maybe looking for more. He'll spawn him, but it's Cubed that somehow comes away with a headshot. Dax able to find this pick, and it's a big one. A quick spray through the smoke will leave Cubed with no hope. And now he's back in the spawn trying to cope as Bands denies the ace away from Cubed and the round win here. And that's what we like to see from the absolute legends that are Neon Lights, baby. Here we go, round number 3. They found a way to tie it up and put that economic trouble on toward Outreach, running through the molly, but Punisher takes a ton of damage. It is all 5-7s in hand here. Been getting over a little bit of a sickness myself, but I knew I couldn't miss the action from the boys here tonight. And little damage from the molly. 2 tucked in here. Cubed will take a bit of damage. Diabetic waiting, chomping at the bit for an opportunity. The jump from Band. He has to do a double take. I don't think he was ready for that one. Unexpected there in the corner. They will be able to collect a Mac 10 and upgrade the weapon just a bit here. In through Fountain they go. 1 tucked in toward toilets here for Outreach as they begin to shift toward long A. 2 in connector here. They can hear those pre-fire shots down below. There's going to be nobody here momentarily as the smoke begins to dissipate. Desolation rings out. He finds Lone Star. Looking for a second, but J-Trops will put a stop to it. Jay finds the pick on to Cubed. Auto Director going crazy for a moment. Punisher, a long lurking flank here as well. We can see a Desolation beginning to make his way up long A here as well. The blind is good. Diabetic will find one, but Michu, a quick tap to the head will leave Diabetic dead. The run and gun from Desolation's good for 1. Hyena with the spray through the smoke, and Outreach somehow turn that round around off of 5-5-7s. He does indeed, Connor. Go back and forth, some early tug of war here. And so far, the team that's had the favorable weapons has gone on to lose the round, but Outreach Tech, they've got a solid set of rifles now. 2 AKs, the M4A1S, the FAMAS, and the Mac 10 in hands here. 4 Tech 9s for Neon Lights. Molly toward Monster. The flash is good. Cubed will drop down into the pit. Hyena says, look who's laughing now. Combines for 2. Dax and J-Trops get 3. All of a sudden, they look to turn the tide yet again. The plant will go down with ease. Dax is in a great advantageous position here. And J-Trops will be able to play through the smoke. He's just going to tuck in here and be patient. Got to be careful sticking your head out of that smoke, though. 2 in heaven. Is he aware? J-Trops will be able to shift back toward Pillar here. Diabetic on the swing, but it's Dax because he said it ain't no thing. And with that, Outreach Tech, they don't have an economy anymore. They've expended a ton of funds into this round. Desolation will look to save the AK, but Dax is on the hunt. Doesn't matter. Dax will go down. The Neon Lights will find a way to tie it up yet again. And you got to remember, this is typically a more favorable CT-sided map. Neon Lights, they've just got to weather the storm. They look to come out on the other side. Dax, 5-0-3 already. 4 for Michu. And I'm just waiting to see the AWP in J-Trop's hands. Outreach Tech, despite that round loss, they had gathered a few weapons in the previous round, so they'll be able to force into this one. We will see 3 rifles, the MP9 and the 5.7 yet again here for Cube. Early pressure toward short tons. Here comes the step out. The blind's a good one, and Lone Star for 2 yet again. Hyena got a consolation prize, but Dax on the Diabetic. Desolation will find that trade back to make it at least a 3v2. But the numbers, the weapons, in favor of Neon Lights at the moment. Things will drastically slow down for the time being. Maybe a quick listen to the ambient sounds of Overpass as we wait for that beautiful chaos to ensue once more. Desolation in toward toilets, toward long A, but for Neon Lights, everybody beginning to shift toward this B site. Cubed. Just trying to check so many angles here. J-Trops. Great controlled spray in through Monster. We'll find that pick. And again, you take a look at the economy here for Outreach. It is virtually non-existent. They have now expended all of those funds. So Desolation in this 3v1 will most likely opt to save the rifle here. We'll see if Neon Lights decides to go on the hunt. I mean, we can see Desolation getting all the way around toward this spawn side. So at a minimum, Desolation might be playing for a few exit frags here. No tab in the building. As the Legends and Goats continue to spill on in, Neon Lights will regain the lead once more. It's been scrappy round wins from both teams, back and forth. This will be a good opportunity now for Neon Lights to begin to extend that lead a little bit here. For Outreach Tech, they'll be playing around the hero rifle of Desolation. Halfway through that loss bonus. Hope everybody's doing well in chat tonight. If you got anything exciting coming up, please feel free to share with us. Early pressure down into connector for Outreach. Looking to 5-stack here and play around this hero rifle. That rifle holding down long A. Most of the action, though, is kind of stalled out into a default position here for Neon Lights. I'd like to see Neon Lights hopefully play together here in this round. Just because they do have that weapons advantage. You don't want to see them give up any of these weapons for free here. A lot of early utility here, just looking for some intel. Now we're going to see this connector push begin to head toward ladder. Dax, here comes the run, the spray. It's good for one, but Cubed and Desolation combined for two. They've got the numbers. They scoop up a rifle, and that makes 2 AKs. Here comes the spray. Band's able to get one. He tries to shift through toilets. Can he make it away? He does. Takes quite a bit of damage here, though. Diabetic waiting on Lone Star. Flank coming in. They read that one well. Able to find the plant here, though. Looking away from the flash. Cube gets Michu. Bands back and forth. Now on a 2v1. No defusal kit here for Outreach, though. Shots ring out. He knows he's off the bomb. Looks to find it again, but Desolation will get Bands. There's no defusal kit, but I believe he gets it here with about a second or two to spare. As we see that time ticking down, back and forth we go. The game of tug-of-war will continue for another round as we find ourselves all tied up yet again. 3-3. But so far, the Neon Lights are putting in some good work here on the T side. They built up a little bit of funds, so they are going to force their way back into this one a little bit. Let them know, no Tav. Let them know. Say it louder for the CTs in the back. Early set of utility again this time. Now Outreach Tech will find themselves putting a little more pressure toward the B site. The flash is a good one. They look twice and the nades wreak havoc. They don't realize there's one behind. J-Trops will eventually find them, but damage has been done. Pop flash over the top. J-Trops. Not a ton of health to work with. Z-Bands on the Tech 9. And after that nade, not feeling so fine. Nice shift out. The Tech 9 will collect one. Desolation able to answer back. Now a 2v1. Going for the Ferrari swing, but Diabetic was waiting patiently. He'll find that pick. And with that, Outreach will be up by one here momentarily. Neon Lights working toward that loss bonus here. Will find themselves on a bit of a scrappy little eco. One Tech 9, 4 Glocks. Dang, tell us about it, Steven. I want to know, too. J-Trops on the peak, but they are immediately taken out here. Cubed and crew will chop them down as they blindly pressure through the smoke. It is a tough one. But it does happen sometimes in the eco round. They'll find at least one pick, and with that outreach, we'll be up by 2 rounds. This will be that important one here for Neon Lights. They've worked toward that full loss bonus, 1 tick away. They'll find themselves with 5 AKs in hand. Op alert on the side of Desolation, though. The Desolation has been locking down toward that A long, and so hopefully that's something that Neon Lights has been taking note of here. Early nades toward Fountain side. Outreach tucked in behind Fountain here as well. The flash is good, and Dax will pop the head and get the bread. Diabetic goes down, and so does Desolation. It's a free 6 feet dirt nap. The op will go down, and we'll see if J-Trops opts to collect it. It could be an opportunity. Yeah, that's right. I'm a dad, and we got dad jokes all night. A big shift in rotation, but Outreach may have read this play well. They've got 2 lingering outside of Monster here. Hyena will begin to look toward the short side or sandbags. Punisher tucked off to the right side here. A little more utility. Lone Star able to find the first. Hyena, the collateral is good for 2. Meet you, will beat you. And with that, it's all down to Cubed. Up toward heaven, and the flick of the wrist from Michu. Electrifying this man. A beautiful triple kill coming in for Michu. He's up to 8 along with Dax, and there's no coming back from that. J-Trops, Lone Star with 5. And our man's bands, 4 kills, but 8 assists on the board. And this is what we want to see from the crew. Everybody firing on all cylinders here. That cohesive unit that makes that bright neon light burn so bright. Cubed, 12 kills on the other side. I do apologize if we sound a little funky tonight. Still battling that sinus cold, but there was no way I was missing this action tonight. One more time. Nades from Fountain. 2 toward long here. Desolation still able to get an op back in hand. Now we'll see them slowly begin to linger forward here. Together. Desolation, Diabetic, the double Ds. Hiding under the playground here is J-Trops, and he does a ton of damage toward Diabetic. Chip away at Desolation, and Diabetic is going to jump into the waiting arms of Michu, who will lay him to rest, but Desolation and Cubed will find 2 at best. J-Trops, you dirty dog! Finding 1 onto the upper. Bands will collect Cubed, and Bands will make them dance. You're going to pressure onto the site. You can see that slight rotation coming through on the minimap here from Outreach. But J-Trops, with the bomb, has begun to shift the other way here. Is Hyena aware? We see Punisher maybe looking to mirror that a bit, but Bands in great positioning finds 1. Hyena from behind does get a trade at a bare minimum. You see that smoke heading in toward the heavens there where Hyena is. He's going to look to pop that smoke, but nobody's home. The plant's going to go down. Now Hyena has got some work to do. 2v1. Can he overcome here? The boys, they just got to play together off each other's contact, and that's what it appears they're going to be doing here. J-Trops finds 1 Lone Star. It got a bit dangerous for a moment, but the Neon Lights found a way to tie it up yet again, 5-5. It's 2 in a row. Outreach will opt to take a timeout here. Three members for Outreach in double digits. Everybody on Neon Lights fairly even here. And just the fact that Bands is rocking 8 assists on top of those 6 kills. Kind of reiterates the teamwork, the team synergy that we've seen continuously grow brighter here from Neon Lights. Match pause will expire. Both of these teams fighting to take the lead here. Been a bit of back and forth here early tonight. This time, Neon Lights heading toward Fountain side. We'll see 2 toward B, 2 toward Connector here for Outreach as well on this eco round. 4 5-7s and a Deagle this time. But it does appear that Neon Lights may have guessed correctly. Meanwhile, they've got Bands over there making a ton of noise toward that B site as well. And now he spots him. Bands is going to find one here with a MAC-10. Desolation begins to rotate toward the B site. This has worked perfectly. And Bands from behind. Behind enemy lines. He slips through the cracks, finds Desolation. And Outreach left in shambles. What a hell of a play from Bands. And now Outreach has to decide what they want to do. There's no defusal kits. On the hunt, Cubed will eventually find Bands. That's the nice thing about the 5.7. You got 20 rounds in the mag to make something happen. They'll put Bands in the bag for the time being, but you can't cool Bands down for too long. We'll be right back here in the next round as Neon Lights has solidified a minimum of a tied half. J-Trops will pop the head of Diabetic. Lone Star will put Cubed in an early grave, and Neon Lights looking beautiful here in the first half, especially on the T side. Near full loss bonus for Outreach. They'll be able to buy into this round here as well. Not quite a full set of utility, about half of what Neon Lights has, 12 to 20. But they've got a full set of rifles in hand. Chat, what do we prefer, the M4? Or what do we prefer, the M4 or the M4A1S silenced? Lone Star on the peak. We'll find Punisher, who's having a tough time here tonight at 2 and 10. Flashes and nades, but you can't turn your back on Lone Star. And Lone Star for 3! Misha will get one. Lone Star. The quadra kill is big. And just like that, Neon Lights will find a winning half for the boys. Now they swap to the CT side as well, and this pistol round is going to be crucial for Outreach if they look to mount an early comeback. I'm right there with you, Connor. I actually prefer the silenced version of the M4 myself when it comes to Counter-Strike. A few less rounds, but no tracers to the smoke. A little bit easier to control that spray, and I find myself hitting just a few more headshots with it as well. It's weird. Even at times, I almost prefer it over the AK. I know I get some guff for that one, but here we are, first round of the second half. A little bit of noise toward the B side from Outreach. That's going to come from Desolation himself. 4 stack. Outreach begins to shift past Party, maybe considering long A here. Early rotation coming in from Neon Lights, but it's only one member, Desolation. One tap to the dome, but Lone Star will answer it. And now they see nobody else, right? This should give them the intel to know that it's most likely coming A. We'll see Dax and them begin to shift back toward the site. Long flank to come into play here as well. Shots ring out, but Dax misses an opportunity, unfortunately. The bomb will eventually go down here. You see J-Trops getting into position with these dualies. Lone Star took just a little bit of damage there as well. A big dink down long. Cube is trying to figure out where it came from, and he snuffs under the crosshair of Lone Star. Help comes in, but Punisher, Hyena, find 2 apiece. Lone Star in a tough position, and Outreach will take a very important round for them. And off to round 14 we go. This should be a solid opportunity for Outreach to tie it up one more time tonight. Mr. Henry Bat, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Man, No Tab, Henry, Steve, and Connor. Play Crossfire. So many legends in chat tonight. We are grateful for all the hotties. Stampede. Stack's going to be on B site for Neon Lights again, but Outreach. They had success on that A site last time. Unfortunately, they don't find Desolation. But luckily, he only gets one here. We'll be able to upgrade to the MAC 10. Michu will hear some footsteps as well. He does dink, finds one. That's one AK out of the way. Punisher with that Khalil, most likely will upgrade. Hasn't yet, though. Was stuck at 2 kills. Starting to come alive is Punisher. Nice controlled spray. We'll find bands down. You got to remember, this is an eco round for Neon Lights. They've already found 2 picks. That's what you hope to see. Anything extra is nice. Another smoke in the way here. Great patience from Neon as they let that smoke begin to dissipate. Now Trops and Dax will try to work together here. Bringing out spray is good, but it's Punisher and Diabetic that combine for 2. Outreach has found a way to tie it up yet again, but now we will see Neon Lights into a full buy of their own. This will be an important round for the boys. 2 members for Outreach do not have an economy. Realistically, 3. This is a good opportunity for Neon Lights to reel it back just a bit. Aids over the top here as well. Cube's going to eat most of that one. 26 health. Chipped off the top. They've liked this A site so far. They've had the most success over there on the attacking side for Outreach. We're going to see, I think that's J-Trops and Michu. To shift up this A site. Michu was here last time. Has to be careful they're not waiting yet again. Diabetic does take a little bit of damage. Michu, the boost up, but he's able to find the first. Can he get the second? He does. Michu, the 2K all day. With that, it gives him the ability to just back off a little bit. They've got the numbers now. And it's up to Outreach to make something happen. J-Trop still here waiting. Spots one, and they line up perfectly. The stars align, and J-Trops comes out on top yet again. He's looking for more, though. This man is hungry for kills, and he can't seem to get full. The flash is there, and the kill is easy. J-Trops. And it's a full house. J-Trops with 3, Michu with 2. And Neon Lights lately has been looking scarier than a gas station bathroom. That's for you, Connor. Haven't pulled that one out in a while. For Outreach, they're playing around a couple hero rifles, the MAC 10. And this is going to really dampen their economy if Neon Lights can find a round win here. There's the spray from Michu. He can't find a second, though, on Cubed. Does get the trade. Will upgrade to an AK as well. Now 3 rifles in hand. I believe J-Trop spotted them on that jump over there as well. We saw in the background Dax and crew waiting patiently. Flash comes in. Spray goes out. Dax good for 1. Diabetic able to find the trade back. J-Trop's Cubed and Diabetic. Lone Star, all alone. Needs a clutch here. A lot of utility in play at the moment. That smoke will begin to dissipate, though. Lone Star, as a kit, can be patient for just a little bit here, but is going to have to start to move relatively soon. On the jiggle, time ticking away. There's the smoke. Does he catch him? He does. Nice headshot. He was cautious of long. Unfortunately, swings about a half a second too early. The flash doesn't pop in time. And Outreach all of a sudden finds themselves on top for the first time in the second half. Neon Lights has built the funds up, though. I forgot they won that previous round, so it's still time. Looking to take the lead is Outreach, but they haven't got it yet. You can tell I'm getting old. Eyesight, everything gone. Early nades from Diabetic down into connector here. You do got the op in J-Trop's hands. Michu continues to reign supreme down here in connector. 3 up toward long A, though, and there's a lot of action from Neon toward the B site. Diabetic, I think, cautious of this flank. Timing not going to play out in his favor just yet, though. This is a great rotation here from Neon. They've got a lot of intel due to all this space that we've seen Lone Star take here. Flash over the top. Here comes the peak. Nobody's there, though, because Outreach has all of a sudden begun to shift back through toilets. Vans is getting very close to making contact here as well. Dax on the hop over, sees no one in connector. And now Lone Star, this flank would be absolutely huge here for the boys, but he's got to be careful of Diabetic, who is lingering toward connector. He comes out now. The spray, but it's Lone Star who wins the gun battle. And Bands waiting patiently will find one. Michu is good for 2. 3 overall. And the Neon Lights refuse to give up the lead here late in this one. 17 kills. 2 assists. 11 deaths for Michu. The master of disaster. Turn on the beats. He'll rock your ghetto blaster. You shoot a rifle. This man will shoot it faster. Michu up on top. Lone Star 15 just behind him. Everybody almost in double digits. Bands 1 away. And cubed early damage from the utility here. And they are just going to eat the nades. They were looking to be on a diet, but Neon Lights is force-feeding these nades down their throat. Outreach, after some early success here in the second half, have been stifled, and now trying to decide exactly what they want to do here. Early smokes, the flash towards sandbags will slow down both Desolation and Hyena. Love watching J-Trops on this op, but nobody coming long at the moment. We are actually going to see at the minimap there, it looks like this subtle rotation through connector could end them toward B. They're very hesitant. Now we see them back toward toilets. Excuse me. Maybe looking for that flank that Lone Star had in the previous round. Neon Lights, 5 more pieces of utility than Outreach here as well, as they've only got that flash in hand. The run and gun, but Bands will immediately put him down. Dax finds Hyena as well, and there's no success on the B site. They'll try on the A site, but J-Trops from Bank will hit him with the stank. Bomb will go down. Diabetic catches him with a nice spray, but Michu right there to answer back. Cube gets 1, but 1 is all he'll get. It's a consolation prize, as Neon Lights will continue to tap dance on the corpse's ashes. Up by 2, 10-8. Everybody in double digits here for Neon Lights. Z-Band's looking for the triple-double. Not only does he have 10 kills, but he's got 13 assists. That is not a typo, ladies and gentlemen. 13 assists. Menace out here today. Early nade from J-Trop. And for the first time in a while, Outreach maybe looking to go toward the B site. They find Dax for a bit of damage. Able to drop off for the time being, and the nades will slow things down towards Sandbags. Lone Star might just have a big nade here. A beautiful pop of the nade, and he finds two! Dax and Bands for two! Lone Star, the triple kill, and Neon Lights. How do you stop him? Three rounds in a row for Neon Lights, one away from match point. And Outreach, one away from a full loss bonus, but they are going to expend almost every single penny they have to get into this round. The teamwork has looked flawless again, King, and you love to see it. It just goes to show how much hard work these guys put in, and it's been paying off, but Cubed will find one. J-Trops says, not without me, you're not. Two in toward party. Bands in connector. Hyena's in a good spot here, but he's not ready for the push from short tunnels. And again, because they get that pick, it's so much intel here for Neon Lights. And Band says, peekaboo, I see you. It's a 2K. He swaps to the pistol, but he can't find that one. Diabetic able to get the trade, but it's a 2-for-1. And Bands has already applied some big damage. Diabetic all alone with bomb in hand and appears to be maybe lost at sea a bit. Here's Mars Bars, an absolute legend. I was talking about Redacted Society, one of the other NA advanced teams I cast for. Lone Star will find Diabetic, though, and Neon Lights will go to match point 12-8 with 4 additional opportunities to close this out. We talked about it. Both of these teams are 5-1. Neon Lights currently in 10th place. Outreach currently in 22nd, and Neon Lights has only dropped a game to a team that, like I said, had experience in ECL and ESL, had a player that played on the Olympic trial team. And so what a way for Neon Lights to bounce back, especially after that loss on Overpass. Now looking to gain this dub here. Was it Magic the Gathering? What were you playing again? Remind me, Mars. Early utility and a lot of pressure toward Long A. I thought so. That's still a fun game, win or lose. Lone Star, the blind is good. The spray from Desolation, even Wild Blind, did a ton of damage to Lone Star here. And now J-Trops. He is so dirty with his op. Hyena's able to get the plant, though. They're at a numbers disadvantage. Cube trying to hold this flank. And what a peek, though. He finds Lone Star. Might be able to upgrade the weapon here a bit. Cubed, Hyena combined for 2. Dax able to answer back for 2 of his own. The smoke will go into play, most likely to defuse to come out shortly after. He's going to look to find the molly. Cubed with a 2K, but Dax answers back. And Neon Lights has done it. The kit in hand and just in time, 13-8. It was a very important date for the crew. They get 5 rounds in a row. Dax, your diehard with 5 survived rounds. J-Trops, the Taskmaster, excuse me, 4 objectives. Lone Star, your bullseye with a 65% headshot rating. Michu, the trifecta with 3 triple kills. And Z-Bands, the weapons master. 8 different unique weapon kills there as the crew gets it done in dominating fashion yet again here tonight. 13-8 as they go to 6-1 on the season. Outreach will fall to 5-2. We wish them the best on their future endeavors. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard before we look at the rest of the schedule and close out here tonight. Heck yeah, Bands back in the building. Bands had a ton of assists on top of those kills here tonight, but we'll run it down the line. Dax, 17 and 12. Where's that headshot rating? 58.82%. J-Trops, 14 and 4 with a headshot rating of 28%. Michu, 18 and 13 with a headshot rating of 55%. Z-Bands, 53% on the headshot rating, 13 kills, 17 deaths. 17 assists is absolutely insane. Great job by Z-Bands. Lone Star, 20 and 12 as well. Holding things down. The ADR of 89, 65% headshot rating. Yeah, you were killing it, Bands. The whole crew getting it done here tonight, 13 to 8. You love to see them bounce back, especially on a map like Overpass. After that tough game they just had played against SKDC, who is very close to be sitting at the top of the pack, if not. So, love to see it. Neon Lights will jump up very far with that win, though. They're going to get into 4th place after that dub here tonight. So, looking very, very strong. Their next matchup is going to be this Thursday at the same time against Desolate. Just 2 minutes here. So, Desolate's 4 and 3. This should be a great game for Neon Lights to extend that winning streak yet again here. Guys, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us again tonight. If you're not following Neon Lights on the Twitter, make sure you do so and join the Discord so you can stay up to date with all we got going on, including these casts. You can find me on Twitch at Hot Sauce, but hotsauce.com has all my socials and places that will be casting. I need to get Neon Lights on that schedule as well. As always, I want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight and showing your support, from King allowing me to come back and the boys getting it done here tonight. My name is Hot Sauce. You guys have been beautiful. Take care, and we'll see you back here on Thursday. We're going to leave you with a song called Too Easy. Why? Well, because Neon Lights, they just continue to make it look too easy every single time. Have a good night, everyone. Much love.